Somewhere deep inside, there is a fear you rarely say out loud. Not that God is unreal or that faith has failed, but that maybe God has moved on without telling you. You pray, you wait, you stay faithful, and still life feels quiet in ways that ache. Silence starts to feel personal, like being overlooked in a crowded room. You wonder if obedience was supposed to feel less lonely than this. And yet you keep showing up, even when no one notices. If this thought has crossed your mind, it doesn't mean your faith is weak. It means you are human, honest, and still reaching for God in the dark. Scripture is full of faithful people who felt forgotten before they were understood. This moment isn't proof you've been abandoned. It's an invitation to pause here together and listen more closely to what this silence might be holding gently. When the answers don't come, the mind starts filling in the gaps. You replay prayers you whispered years ago and wonder if they landed anywhere at all. Silence can start to sound like rejection, as if heaven heard you and chose not to respond. It's easy to assume you did something wrong, missed a step, misunderstood a calling. You scanned your past for mistakes that might explain the delay. This kind of waiting quietly reshapes how you see yourself. Faithfulness begins to feel invisible. Obedience feels unrewarded. You may even start pulling back emotionally, not because you stopped believing, but because hoping hurts more than expecting nothing. And so you wait with a guarded heart, telling yourself this is just how it is now. Nothing about this reaction makes you unspiritual. It makes you tired. Many in Scripture sat in long stretches where God seemed silent, questioning themselves before questioning Him. For now, the pain doesn't need an answer. It only needs space to be acknowledged, because what feels like rejection may not be what's actually happening at all yet. What if what you're experiencing isn't being forgotten, but being hidden? There is a quiet difference between absence and concealment, though they feel similar when you're living inside them. When God hides something, it isn't because it lacks value. It's because it matters enough to protect. So many moments in Scripture happen out of sight first. Seeds break open underground. Leaders are shaped in obscurity. Even Jesus lived most of his life unseen, unknown, uncelebrated. Nothing about those hidden years was accidental. They were purposeful, though no one watching could tell. Hidden seasons feel like abandonment because there's no audience, no affirmation, no timeline. You can't measure progress when everything is internal. But hidden doesn't mean inactive. It means work is happening where applause would only distract. If you've felt overlooked, it may be because this season isn't meant to be visible yet. What God is forming in you needs quiet, not exposure. And what feels like being passed over may actually be God keeping you close, shaping you before anything else is revealed. That realization slowly shifts everything, inviting you to stay present here, trusting that hidden does not mean forgotten, but carefully held for the right moment ahead. Waiting longer than you expected can slowly convince you that something is wrong with you, that if God wanted you, used you, answered you, it would have happened by now. Time becomes evidence in the courtroom of your mind, and every unanswered prayer feels like a verdict. But divine timing has never been about punishment. It has always been about alignment. God's delays are not hesitations, they are intersections. Places where your readiness meets circumstances you cannot yet see. Scripture shows this again and again, not as formulas, but as patterns. People arrive too early and are broken. Others arrive late and miss nothing at all. What feels like God withholding may actually be God protecting you from entering something before you are fully formed or before it is fully prepared. Some doors only open when multiple lives, moments, and purposes align at once. If even one piece arrives too soon, the whole thing collapses. So if this season feels longer than you understand, it doesn't mean you misunderstood God. It may mean He understands more than you can see right now. And before we rush to escape this waiting, it's worth gently considering what alignment might still be unfolding. Loneliness has a weight to it that few people talk about honestly. It settles in during quiet evenings, empty conversations, and moments when you wish someone would notice how hard you're holding it together. This kind of loneliness isn't poetic. It's heavy, and it asks questions you didn't want to answer alone. Yet over time, something subtle begins to happen here. When affirmation disappears, identity is forced to root deeper. You start learning who you are when no one is applauding, choosing, or staying. Scripture often shows God meeting people in isolated places, not to punish them, but to clarify them. This doesn't mean the ache isn't real. It means the ache isn't wasted. Strength you didn't ask for is being built quietly. Dependence shifts from being seen by others to being held by God. And though you may not feel stronger yet, something steady is forming beneath the surface. Loneliness may feel like loss, but it can also become the place where your identity stops negotiating and starts settling. What if waiting is not empty time, but hidden movement? Even when nothing seems to be changing on the outside, something is being shaped within you. Patience deepens, discernment sharpens. You notice what you once rushed past. Scripture often points to this quiet work, where God forms hearts long before He changes circumstances. This season may feel unproductive, especially in a world that measures worth by visible progress. But God is not in a hurry. He is present, He is steady, and He is attentive to the small shifts you barely notice. the way you respond differently now, the strength you carry with less noise, the resilience that didn't exist before. Nothing here is wasted, not the stillness, not the questions, not the slow days. Waiting is not a pause in God's care, but a space where His work is simply quieter. And as you stay here, something's being prepared. You are not overlooked, even if it feels that way tonight. You are known in ways that don't depend on visibility or outcomes. Scripture reminds us that God remembers those the world forgets, not as an afterthought, but with intention. Your name has not slipped His mind. Your prayers have not dissolved into silence. This season is not asking you to strive harder or explain yourself better. It is inviting you to rest where you are, trusting that being held does not always feel like being answered. Sometimes love is quiet. Sometimes care looks like waiting. You belong here, even in the unanswered place, even in the slow unfolding. Nothing about you is accidental, delayed beyond repair, or too late to matter. You are still chosen, still seen, still held, and when the time comes for things to move, you will not be forgotten, because you never were at all.